Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our weekly sales meeting. My name is Michael Rapaski. I'm your CEO and team leader. Some of you may not remember me since I wasn't here for a week. Apparently, Eddie did a wonderful job, so much so that several of you told me that I should miss more sales meetings. So thanks so much for that, team. Looking at you, Hadley. That was specific feedback from Sean Hadley, everyone. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. We've got a ton of great stuff to cover as a part of today's sales meeting. We are going to do a feature on these big three items. If you have been with Keller Williams for 20 years or 20 minutes, you probably have heard something about leads, listings, and leverage. And so we're going to talk about spinning the flywheel and getting into a growth cycle by focusing on these three items as we lean into what are historically the months in which the market builds and there's more opportunity out there, right? But before we do that, whoops, I am all the way at the end of my slides. Sorry, guys. Let's get right back to where we were supposed to be. Before we do that, we're going to start the sales meeting the same way we do every week, which is talking a little bit about our belief systems. So these are known as the Y4C2Ts, which are guiding principles for not only the way that we're going to interact with each other as colleagues at Keller Williams, but the way that we show up and serve our clients, the way that we interact with and support our cooperating brokers, as well as what it looks like to as well as what it looks like to maybe just live our best lives. There's no relationship you have that wouldn't be bigger, faster, and stronger with a little bit more focus on these. So I want to focus today on the win-win or no deal. We are operating in a market that has a dearth of inventory, right? It is only getting more challenging with respect to what is out there and what is available. And this leads to maybe some hotter tempers, some more intense situations, and some listing agents being more aggressive with the leverage that the listing provides them. I want to remember that when we're in this business, right, there are folks who find success in real estate, and then there are folks who build great real estate careers. And the majority of real estate transactions take place with somebody on the other side of it. And so we should always be working and looking for opportunities to find success in this deal with a win-win so that we have an opportunity for the next deal. That's a win-win between us and our client, a win-win between our client and the client on the other side, and a win-win between us and the other agent. So keep that in mind, especially as things pick up and especially as we're driving towards more and more business and bigger numbers of multiple offers that are out there. We have the opportunity to take the high road as often as anybody else, and what makes the difference is how frequent we will do that. So as you go through the week and as you lean into the busy season, as we like to call it, make sure that you are still keeping win-win at the forefront and top of mind. All right, so a lot of news coming out as there is some changes taking place around credit scores and how they relate to mortgage. I'm going to save part of this for the conversation and ask Sean Hadley and our other mortgage partners, Don and Chris, to talk a little bit about this today, only because you're going to be hearing more and more about this. And this is just an example of what I would call a politicized headline around this. This is from foxbusiness.com. You'll find similar articles on any of your major media outlets. And we talked a lot about this at the Q2 kickoff, is really managing that narrative for your clients. And so we're going to try and bring a little bit every week around, hey, what's the conversation in the media? What's the conversation with your clients And how do we walk them through this? Because, somebody is getting their dander up about this headline. And when you call them to have a conversation about opportunities to not be a renter anymore, or to help them buy, they might come back with something like this. And, if we're real estate experts and local economists of choice, we'll have a chance to maybe help educate them a little bit more and work through what, this sort of thing shows up as, which is an objection. So I'm just going to press pause on this right now because I'm going to ask our mortgage partners to circle back to it. Now, as we go through, we've got a lot of great stuff coming up on the calendar. We are finishing the month of April strong. Tomorrow evening, we've got a Zoom session with our productivity coaches, Eric Akbar and Wesley Croft, and they're going to be walking through a session that we're calling All About Real Estate Coaching. So we joke as a company from time to time that we are a training and coaching company that just happens to sell real estate. Coaching is a huge part of what we are committed to as an organization, both locally and internationally. But it's also, if you talk to any of our top producers, any of our most successful agents, anyone that's had a breakout first year or has grown a business beyond their wildest dreams, somewhere in that story arc, they're going to reference coaching, whether it's productivity coaching, one-on-one, individual coaching, MAPS coaching, programs based and centered around coaching like BOLD. And so we want to provide the opportunity for all of our agents and all the agents in the industry, for that matter, to get their heads wrapped around what is the goal and the outcome of coaching, and how do I engage in it? How do I show up for it? Or maybe, hey, I really enjoyed productivity coaching during my first year. What are my opportunities to continue coaching relationships beyond that? So if you've ever heard anyone reference coaching, or you've ever been curious about whether or not coaching is right for you in the life cycle of your business, by all means, show up tomorrow night, 6:30 via Zoom, and take advantage of this educational opportunity. And then on Friday at 11 a.m. in the Pepper Pike office, we've got 1 hour of CE on the 1031 exchange. 1031 exchanges are a great tool for all clients, right? You're going to see these show up for investor clients more frequently. And essentially what it allows you to do is to sell one property and leverage the proceeds to buy another without tax implication, right? And so there's some nuance and other elements that go into it. One, to go into understanding it. Two, to go into executing it. You're typically working with an exchange company similar to a title company that helps manage the process. But having your head wrapped around how these works can help your clients strategize around divesting. These are really strong in terms of end of life planning to avoid any tax implications in the transfer of wealth. So be there on Friday to brush up on this opportunity. Having something like back pocket, not only will it be useful down the line, it also demonstrates a level of expertise and a command of the industry that will be very attractive to a lot of clients. Now, as we get into the month of May, we keep on trucking with all of our top-notch training. As we did last year, we are doing a focus in May on MOFRs. May is for MOFR. MOFR stands for Make Offer for Immediate Response. We are in the height of the market, which means that there is an opportunity for us to strike while the iron is hot. There is an opportunity for us to make offers that can't be refused, to get immediate responses and engagement from folks. And so there's going to be, 3 consecutive sales meetings focused on MOFRs that we'll talk about. I'm gonna save the one on May 2nd as that is a little bit bigger. But on the 9th, we're going to talk about MOFRs that cost you anything. What sort of things can you bring to your clients at no cost to you that will spur them into action, or at least engage in a two-way conversation about real estate? And then on the 16th, we're going to spend some time talking about what relationships, what processes, what elements of who you are and your unique value proposition you can start to mold and model into a MOFR. So be on the lookout for those. If you are interested in a really tremendous opportunity on May 2nd, that is a week from today in Detroit. Plymouth is just outside of Detroit. Brett Tanner, who runs the KW Wealth community, which is the fastest growing community in Keller Williams Realty International, is going to be in Detroit for his wealth workshop. So this is something that typically only takes place in Austin, Texas. It has, I think they've done 6 or 8 sessions so far. Tickets are $1,000 to attend, plus travel, plus flights. Our region is bringing this to Detroit and subsidizing the cost to get agents in our area into this opportunity in the most affordable way. So you've likely seen some emails from me about it. Hopefully you've heard about this. If you have any questions about how to get signed up or what your next step is or how to take advantage of this, please reach out to me. It is going to be a very powerful, worthwhile workshop. Here locally, we're going to be kicking off. You don't want to drive to Michigan, don't worry. We still have great programming for you. We're going to have a full morning of real estate. So on May 2nd, we are in our Rocky River office going to be holding a golden letter workshop. Now, a golden letter is a great example of a MOFR, right? And the MOFR is make offer for immediate response. So a golden letter is targeting a specific community, a specific farm, a specific portion of your database, or a specific subset of the population in Northeast Ohio that lives in a certain type of house that you have a buyer that's looking for, and getting them to engage in a conversation around whether or not they would be willing to sell or explore listing their house on the open market. We have agents in our office who have doubled and tripled their listing count by doing the very simple, very affordable, and not nearly as tedious as you think process of doing handwritten letters to property owners who live in or own properties that are fits for their agents. So we're going to do a live workshop where you're going to leave being able to drop stuff in the mailbox on the ground floor of the Rocky River office as an opportunity to engage with potential or future clients. And then right after that, we're going to engage in, hey guys, guess what? If there's not a lot of inventory on the market, there is a chance that one of your clients would be open to a little bit longer timeline and building. So we are going to head out to Kingston at Western Reserve. That's in Olmsted Falls, where we will have some lunch and snacks provided, as Kay Hovnanian is going to take us through a few of their developments and a few of their homes, so that we can all get a better understanding of how to engage with new construction, how to sell new construction, how to be a great agent for your client as they explore new construction. So a lot of great stuff that day, focused on one, getting you more listings, getting your buyers sold, and getting buyers opportunities that they otherwise might not have considered. Speaking of listings, we had a bang up session with Shoshana in October or November, sometime in the fourth quarter. She rocked a win with sellers. And it is backed by popular demand. We are running that one back. I promise you, you could go to this session a dozen times. You will have more takeaways. You will get more excited about taking more listings. Guys, there is nothing more important in this market than listings. The listing agent always wins in multiple offers. So that is going to be on May 4th from 2 to 3:30. And then on the 8th, we will be hosting our second quarter dual career mastermind, where we will focus on really simple and specific elements of leverage for our dual career agents. So if you are not engaged with real estate full time, or if you're doing it dual career, there are still ways for you to activate leverage to expedite the growth of your real estate business. Red Day is on May 11th. That is just, what is that? 16 days away. And to tell us a little bit about what slots we have left open, what we are doing this year for Red Day, and why it is such a special event, is the one and only chair of the KW Cares Cleveland Committee, Sam Krieger. Sam?
Hey guys. All right. So not much new on Red Day in terms of what's going to be happening on the actual day. There are slots available for every every location and every time slot. So please go register now. Like I said, they are all available, but there aren't enough spots for everyone to have every place. So something that we are bringing this year that we're really excited about, perfect segue from what Mike was just talking about, is a dual career option to participate in Red Day. So Liz Kosminski really spearheaded this, and she researched and found that found an opportunity for us at Common Threads thrift store in Fairview Park. So it's going to be the night before, so that's going to be the 10th from 6 to 8, and you'll be going to the thrift store and be sorting clothes that they have. So inventory, what we're sorting or what categories, I don't know. I also asked Liz if you're allowed to get like if you see something you want, if you can have first dibs or like hide it somewhere for later. She said she's also not sure about that, but TBD. We'll get some more information. So the Common Threads thrift store is they work with supporting Building Hope in the City, which is a program that helps renovate homes and provide affordable housing for Cleveland residents. And because of their volunteer opportunities, they're actually able to contribute 90% of their income to their charitable work. So obviously we're not going to be building the houses, but we'll be sorting the clothes that then, like I said, the proceeds go to that. So any dual career agents, please sign up for that if you would like. There are only 10 slots available for the evening. So if you are interested, please sign up soon. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me, Allison Benoit, or anyone on the committee.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for that update. Thank you so much for your leadership, and shout out to Liz for finding that dual career opportunity. I know that's something we've been talking about for quite some time. So here we are. Very exciting, guys. Huge opportunity, a great cultural moment for us as a company, and dare I say, a whole lot of fun too. So make sure we prioritize that Thursday, May 11th. And then on the 19th, we will continue with our profit share series as Nancy Emmerman shares her experience and her story of her journey, really, to what is one of only 125 people in the history of Keller Williams to have earned over $1 million lifetime in profit share. And that just happened for Nancy last month, actually about 5 days ago. And so a really cool milestone, and a really great story that goes with it is, Nancy's consistent conversation with anyone and everyone about Keller Williams and a career in real estate. Such a huge opportunity. All right. Now we'll throw it over to our partners for a partner update, starting with our friends from Ohio Real Title. What's the word and title this Tuesday?
The word and title is always just excitement. No, I mean, like you guys are all experiencing, we're still seeing a very weird market. Mondays, obviously after the weekends, are beautiful, and the rest of the week is really flat. So we're seeing a lot of that, but wanted to just bring up something that just kind of hit my desk today is mutual releases. If we're holding earnest money and there's no mutual release, we cannot open a new order. So if you guys relist that thing, even though everything's expired, the buyer never performed, and we still have money with no mutual release, we cannot open that up. One workaround would be to actually get a release where we still hold the money if that's still under contention, but it still releases the buyer. But just wanted to bring that up because I know that happens from time to time. And thank you, Mr. Rapaski, for talking about our Friday CE on the 1031s. I've already sat through it twice. Joy is really good. So get ready to have your hair blown back.
Love that. Anything from Jen or Janelle?
I think Rick covered the east side for us, but go ahead, Jen.
Good morning, I'm Jennifer O'Malley. I am one of your West Side Ohio Real Title representatives. I also wanted to piggyback on the golden letter that Michael had brought up and marketing directly to property owners. If you have a buyer who's looking for something specific, let's say they only want to live in Bay Village on Lake Road and they need a house that has 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and attached garage. Reach out to your team and we can contact our tax and legal team to try to filter out those properties that meet your client's needs so you can market directly to them. So it's always worth the ask, and it would save you the time of necessarily auditing through county records to find that specific property for your client.
We love that. What a great example of leverage in the process. Leveraging our partners, working with and alongside our partners to ensure that a task that might take you a whole week can take you less than a day. Thank you so much for that, Jen. I love that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, over to the mortgage side of the world. Teed you up with a nice curveball this morning, guys, but let's see how good you are at hitting one on the fly.
All right. Well, thanks for bringing it. And there's 2 headlines I was going to touch on if we have time for it. And Saturday, my wife comes downstairs to show me an Instagram post. Goes, "Have you heard about this?" I said, "Oh yeah, these loan level pricing adjustments we've been talking about since January. I've heard a thing or two, but let me hear what your Instagram post from your Atlanta-based realtor who's very politically motivated in getting this point across." So anyway. So what's finally hitting the headlines is, effective May 1st. So this isn't anything new. If we've been listening to the Mortgage Minute or Minutes every Tuesday or in any of our classes, we've been talking heavily about this. So in January, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac said, hey, those loan level pricing adjustments we've had the past 10 plus years, we're tweaking that a little bit. We're not excited about it. Nobody's excited about it. And the bottom line is, the higher credit tier are feeling more of an impact. So somebody with a 620 credit score is still going to get a higher interest rate than somebody with a 780 credit score. The difference is it's a little bit from where we were, 60 days ago or 30 days ago to now. The higher credit buyer is feeling it a bit more. They're paying more than they were before, whereas a weaker buyer is not paying anymore, in some cases even paying less. So believe me, we're right on the train of complaining about this. We're not happy, but what you're seeing in the headlines is, somebody with a 780 credit score is paying a higher interest rate than somebody with a 620 or 640. That's not true. And obviously there's always a bit more behind these headlines. They just want you to click on it and they want you to kind of get stirred up from a political standpoint as well. So that's kind of just on a quick surface side of that. But Chris or Don, am I summarizing that well, you think?
Yeah, I think the chart that gets thrown around a lot is the chart showing the difference between where we were, before and where we are now. And it's got everyone with a 740 with these red figures. Like, you'd think that the world ended for those folks. They're still getting a better, credit score or paying less points. It's just when you compare it to where they were before, they're a little bit off this time.
You couldn't have said any better. The bottom line is Fannie and Freddie are on a mission to promote affordable home ownership, and the only way to do that is to lessen the cost to the lower end borrower, and that's exactly what they're doing with these pricing adjustments.
And as a reminder, you're going to see, even more of a shift. In the past, we said, if you're putting minimum down with under 680 score, you're probably FHA. Well, don't be surprised if you've got a 690 or a 715 and a buyer's thinking, I want to go FHA because their rate is going to be lower. Their PMI might be lower. It's some big changes. And here's the grid we're talking about. So every transaction comes through, we're reviewing this. And it doesn't, these headlines haven't said anything about cash out refinances who are getting hit harder, condos who are getting hit harder. So there's a bit more to it. And we could always do another sidebar or maybe, another meeting on this. But for you yourself, if you want to reach out, feel free. But
would you say that that's important to understand as a listing agent as well, that I might be seeing more FHA buyers as a result of this, and that I need to make sure that my seller is aware of what that means and why that is, and and how that actually flows through a deal?
100%. I mean, FHA still has a bit of a stigma to it from 20 years ago, both about, oh, only if you bad credit, or yeah, they're going to rip this house apart and say you need a new roof. And really, we're seeing repairs come back being required on one out of about every 8 appraisals. And usually those are for a handrail or a GFCI outlet, which certainly can be done proactively before the appraiser gets there for an experienced realtor. So yeah, the realtor listing agent really needs to be aware, educated. As you know, we've mentioned on here many times before, we're always willing to call a seller and say, hey, this buyer's A+, we've got all their income, we've got all their assets. FHA is just going to save them $120 a month. By the way, here's what you need to know about repairs and such. And you know, we're more than happy to reach out about that.
That's awesome. What was that second headline?
Second headline is, and I'll try and go quick on this, and I'll put if it fits in the chat or if not on Facebook, this little flyer. But give a quick example. Buyer, of course, needs a rush pre-approval, 6 o'clock on Sunday. Pre-approval goes out 9:30 Sunday night, offers in 9 o'clock in the morning, but I get a call from the buyer going, Sean, what are you trying to do here? I give you a pre-approval letter, I live a happily ever after. What's going on here? By 9 o'clock in the morning, he received 16 phone calls from other lenders trying to earn his business for a mortgage. He said he thinks I sold his information. I said, believe me, this is not something I want. I don't want to throw 16 competitors at you before 9 o'clock in the morning. TransUnion, Equifax, Experian sells information, just straight up sells information. When somebody gets their credit report pulled, they turn around and sell it to other banks and lenders who call and are appealing for business. It's just almost a straight up cold call. And buyer was very upset about it. I had a buyer about a month ago get 60 phone calls before noon. I take it back. It was his wife who got 60 phone calls. He goes, first off, why is my wife getting 60 phone calls? Secondly, why am I not getting any? So he was a little paranoid, like his credit stunk or something like that. So this is crooked. It's shady. It has nothing to do with us. There's a bill that's lower down in the headlines, but there's a bill in the House to get rid of this. And I'm going to put in here a Dropbox where you yourself can opt out or forward it to a customer to opt out of this. But it takes 3 to 5 days to get set in. So if I told this buyer Sunday night, hey, here's something you can opt out at, but if you want to wait 5 days before getting pre-approved, call me then. So it's not a great system. It's a horrible, shady practice. Hopefully it's going away, but just wanted to make sure you knew about that as well.
Well, what a great thing to just give your clients a heads up on. Like, it's out of your hands. Like, I'm sure there's realtors out there who've been accused of the same thing. And so let's, again, great opportunity to educate your client. Always better to tell people what to expect than explain why things happen.
Hey,
right?
Mike, those are referred to as trigger leads, by the way. If anybody hears that term, that's exactly what those are called, trigger leads.
Nice. Well, we will all write our ACAR, OAR, and NAR representatives to keep pushing that through. So, well, thank you guys for that. Lots of good updates there, lots of activity. And another important thing to remember is if you've got a buyer who's reading these headlines who isn't pre-approved or hasn't been in the market, it really doesn't change the game for them, right? It's only the movement. It's a slight movement on this this credit score thing that's affecting the active people. Do not let it slow you down from building a big buyer pipeline. Good stuff. All right. I saw Gina Legeza on the call this morning, I think.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, Michael. Hello, friends. How do I follow the Three Musketeers? I will do my best. So I want to talk about things that have happened in the last week that are relative questions I've gotten from our Rockstar agents. And one big one is, do we get anything for selling a home warranty? You do. Every time you sell a home warranty and turn application and data collection form, the data collection form gives you $50. So each time you sell a home warranty, one of the agents was asking, do we still do that? Yes, we do. You get $50. Another thing that's come up in the last week is, do you have to have an inspection to have home warranty coverage? You do not. So even though your client chose not to get a home inspection, you still have coverage. Things just need to be in good working order. And how things work is because we're actually upon air conditioning season. You have to use everything in the home one time. And if it's in good order, once you use it once, if it's something that we cover, we're going to be there to help your client with those out-of-pocket expenses. So just some things to keep in mind. Also, we're talking about listings today. I have a tool for that. If you want to win more listings, I have something called a door hanger. You canvas a certain particular area. You put it on the door with your card, and it says, if I get your listing, I will pay for your home warranty. So I'll put my contact information in the chat box. Anybody can contact me directly if they want these wonderful door hangers that help win more listings for our agents. So that's my update for the week.
Thank you so much. We love that. And always good to remind all of our agents there's an opportunity for them to earn a little bit more on every deal with home warranty. Love that.
Yes, thank you.
All right, guys, that brings us to the meat of our conversation today, which is, again, something that may feel like old hat to a lot of people, is this conversation around leads, listings, and leverage. Now, this isn't just me being my normal alliterative self and picking three things that start with L. This is, if you've attended any business planning clinics from our office or have read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, this is the fundamental foundational model of the millionaire real estate agent. It starts with leads and getting to an abundance of leads, and then lead generating specifically for listings, and then amassing a number of listings to create leverage, and then spinning that flywheel over and over and over. So what I thought would be great for our time together today would be a conversation about how can we, if we just say, hey, go get more listings, go get more leads, go get more listings, and start to engage in leverage. What exactly does that look like? And what are some things that you can plug into directly, whether you're somebody who is doing a big and consistent business, you're a new agent starting out, or you're currently riding that real estate roller coaster where some days or some months you close a lot and other months you don't close as many. So the first thing I want to talk about is leads, because that's the most important thing in our business, especially right now. If we are having a harder and harder time getting under contract and staying under contract, one solve for that is to increase what's at the top of the funnel. So one way to do that is with a program that Gary Keller has brought to us called 72 Sold. Now, if you've experienced or heard anything about 72 Sold, you may have heard about it at family reunion or seen it talked about on various Keller Williams events or trainings. This is, very simply put, a marketing system first and foremost that allows you to leverage a marketing system built by a company in Arizona, in Scottsdale, Arizona, called 72 Sold, that Keller Williams is the official and exclusive partner of. 72 Sold started as a brokerage in Scottsdale, and they went from no market share in 2019, not 1919, in 2019, to over 30% of market share in a single office for Scottsdale, Arizona, in less than 3 years. And this sales and marketing strategy is available to agents in Keller Williams exclusively. There is an additional monthly fee with it. We have had agents do it and find success with it. But what it's designed at is putting out messaging on a consistent and scalable basis that attracts sellers to you, right? And then there's an additional program so there's the marketing side of things, which is the lead generation side. And then there is the sales program, which is the specific listing methodology that drives more interest and drives a faster sale. I know it's hard to believe that you could have a faster sale of a listing than what we do in the current market. But if you're interested in learning more about 72 Sold as a way to generate more leads specific to listings, then you can do that exclusively as a part of the Keller Williams ecosystem, and we'll get you some more information on that. Just know that part one of this is marketing based, which is why we're talking about it first with leads, is that you're putting a message and a process out there that's going to attract sellers to you versus anybody else, right? One of the biggest takeaways, and you've heard me talk about it a few times, your personality is not your unique value proposition. We have to be bringing a system and a process that guarantees that our sellers sell and that our buyers get to buy. And this is an out of the box offering for you on that front. The next thing is, hey, you know, whether you are, again, whether you're getting started or you've got a consistent business, sometimes the only thing holding you back from scaling are leads. And so then you're faced with this difficult decision of like, well, how do I go get more leads? How am I going to maximize my leads? And, you know, you could default to the Zillows and the Realtor.coms. There is a ton of competition there, and they require all the money up front, right? You're going to start spending thousands of dollars a month to get in the top spot for a zip code on Zillow or Realtor.com, or get a share of the leads without the guarantee that that will close, let alone inside the month, but it'll ever generate anything that'll close. Opcity is a program that's available to every agent in our office. And if you're interested in learning more or signing up for it, you can very simply reach out to Julia Cumming at kw.com, and she can get you plugged in and signed up for that. It's at no cost to you up front. So you get put in a rotation amongst agents in our market center who, when a lead comes through the Opcity portal, it gets routed to you, and you can pick up or call back somebody who has indicated an interest in purchasing a home. Right now, before we go down the rabbit hole of, are they pre-qualified? What home do they want to buy? What's the price point? First, understand that if leads are the key to this game, we have to understand what a lead is. And a lead is a name with a need, right? And so we have somebody raising their hand looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. We should take advantage of that. And Opcity provides you a way to do that with no upfront costs. They take a referral fee on the back end. And is it my recommendation that you go do 100% of your business with Opcity? No, it is not. I think that the next thing I'm going to talk about is a much more economically savvy way to do business and grow your business. But if you are looking to fill a gap in your pipeline, I don't have enough leads, I don't have enough A+ buyers, I haven't done enough business yet to really activate my sphere, this is a great way to get into the game and to get some reps and to get some phone conversations and just get some more opportunities. And the agents who do this at the highest level, guys, there's $4, $5, $6, $8 million producers who are still plugging into Opcity just to stay sharp. This is their practice for scripts. This is their, how do I just add one more deal a month from now? Sure, there's a fee on the back end, but you know, 70% of something's better than 100% of nothing every single time. So a great opportunity for everybody here is to plug in and take advantage of leads that will flow to you and that cost you nothing up front. Now, the best leads, right? And the leads that over 50% of all business, right, comes from is our sphere of influence and our database. And so last week, I believe Eddie talked to you about the 201 Club, but I want you to know that statistically speaking, from the National Association of Realtors annual home buyers and sellers report, over 50% of all buyers and just under 50% of all sellers found their just under 50% of all buyers and over 50% of all sellers found their realtor through a referral from a friend, a family member, or a former colleague, or had used that realtor before, right? Or was referred that realtor by another realtor. That's all database space, right? And so we need to get really serious, really aggressive about building our contacts in our database. That is name, phone number, email, and home address for as many people as we can. Now, remember those people from Opcity who raised their hand and said they want to buy a house? Guess where they need to go first? Into your database, right? Because even if they don't buy, or it's not the right time, or they don't end up pre-approved, guess what? That means they're probably renting, and in a 12-month cycle, their business next year, right? And so when we start building our business for right now and next year and 2 years from now, that's when we can really start to scale. Your database allows you to have a consistent and repeatable and scalable business if you feed it every single day, communicate to it in a systematic way, and service the leads that come out. That's the key. So what does the 201 contacts piece mean? Well, just as a reminder, it means that statistically speaking, over the 180,000 agents in Keller Williams, when we look at who is earning over 6 figures, the inflection point begins at over 200 contacts. Now, I could go way down the rabbit hole and pull apart the data around how 8% of the population moves every year, and that's climbing up from 8 to 10%. We're going to stick with 8%, which means that 1 in 12 people in your database is going to move each year, which means that if you have 200 people in your database, you likely have 16 deals in your database, or people that are going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Very likely that if you have a sale, you also have a buy side, right? So there's 16 deal opportunities in those 200 individuals, right? Now, when we take that across the entire United States, the average sales price, that gets us above that $100,000 GCI threshold. If you sold 16 average price homes just in Northeast Ohio, 16 times 200,000 is 3.2 million at roughly a 3% commission rate. You're looking at $96,000. So just shy of that $100,000 mark here in the most affordable market in the United States. But the key is getting to 201 contacts in your database, communicating with them consistently, which is a 36 touch program, which means reminding them about every 15 days that you're a realtor, you're in real estate. Now, where this thing really starts to take off is when you realize that those 200 people, if they all knew 200 people, then you have the opportunity to be referred 16 deals by any one of those 200 people in your database, which is how we've seen people build businesses from nothing all the way up to over $15 million in sales in Northeast Ohio inside of 4 years, just by working their database, just by working the referrals, right? So huge opportunity here. If you don't have the leads to start with 72 Sold and OpCity as opportunities to reach more strangers, right? And then bring those strangers into relationship with you, get them into your database, communicate with them consistently. And when they raise their hand and are ready to go, or God forbid you hit them with a mofer that you learn about in May, you get immediate responses and action out of people. So huge opportunity in 3 very easy ways right now to build your database and find opportunities for your pipeline as folks are reaching peak interest from an annualized basis in buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And you can see the folks who have over 201 contacts in their database are 3 times more likely to cap. You're much more likely to do business, much more likely to do big business. So let's talk about maximizing listings. Well, it's going to feel a little bit repetitive, but 72 Sold is an amazing opportunity exclusive to Keller Williams agents that you have, one from a marketing standpoint. Now, the second piece why I bring it up for listings is in a sales standpoint, right? Your opportunity with 72 Sold and the next thing that I'm going to talk about it is marketing based on targeting sellers and getting someone to engage in a conversation with you about the value of their home. Make no mistake, the most important real estate related conversations that you will ever have with your clients are going to take place at their kitchen table. When you're sitting in their house, doing a listing presentation, reviewing a seller net sheet, and helping them better understand the economics of home ownership and what it would look like to sell their property. There is no more valuable use of your time than that conversation. And so 72 Sold is something that drives towards that. Now, whether or not they decide that they want to use the 72 Sold program, or that they want to list their house at a certain price or in a certain way and have it marketed a certain way, you're getting to the table and having a conversation about selling their home. Whether or not they use this program doesn't mean that they won't list with you. You're simply presenting this as an option, right? If you are only able to serve one type of client one way, then you will limit what you get out of that database. But when you have a 72 sold option, or you have a sale leaseback program, again, this is not going to necessarily activate 100% of your database, but it will pique the interest of a certain portion of it. So TrueHold's another company that we locally here at Keller Williams Greater Metropolitan have an exclusive relationship with, that allows that creates an opportunity for you to bring a sale leaseback program to your clients. So if you hit everybody in your database and said, hey, if you were interested in selling at the height of the market, but didn't want to move or buy again until on the other side of summer, well, here's your opportunity. TrueHold will buy that property cash and then lease it back to the client. Where does this come in handy? Well, next Tuesday, we're going to walk through some new construction opportunities. Some new construction will be done in 3 months, be done in 6 months, be done in 9 months. How great would it be to cash out on the equity, slam the down payment for my new construction, and not have to worry about moving twice or dealing with the issues of waiting to sell my house and accessing the equity in different ways, when I can sell it, lease it back, take my sweet time packing up the house, waiting for my new construction to be done. Again, this isn't right for everybody, but I bet if somebody raises their hand or responds to your conversation around TrueHold, you're going to be at their kitchen table talking about the value of their home. You're going to be talking about what their options are. Well, we could sell it this way to TrueHold. We could sell it with this strategy with 72 sold, or we could put it on the open market and create some interest in different ways, right? We can test the market, whatever it is. These are all driving towards either A, listings or sales. Worst case scenario, you have a conversation about using TrueHold and you end up with a listing. Sweet. Then you hold that house open, you generate more leads, and we start the whole process over again. Oh, what are we talking about now? We're talking about open houses. Open houses are underrated and getting more underrated every year, when over 6% of all buyers and 4% of all sellers met their realtor at an open house. We had an agent in our office 3 weeks ago hold her first open house. Held it for another agent. So don't think you need a listing before you can hold an open house. You see somebody takes a listing, you offer to hold it open for them. That's a piece of leverage. If you're a listing agent and you have an open house that you're not holding open, well, you might not be selling that as quickly or as high a price as you should. Maybe you offer up that open house as an opportunity for a new agent. Boom, leverage again. We haven't even got there yet. We're talking about leverage. The idea here is that that individual held somebody else's house open and had 76 people walk through the open house. Now, let's say half of them were represented and she only got really good conversations with the other, with half of the half that wasn't represented. Guess what? That's 18 buyer leads who were doing more than just trolling around looking for something to do on a Saturday afternoon, right? 18 buyer leads that are willing to walk through homes right now. That is a huge opportunity. If we are not holding open houses on every listing, we are missing the opportunity to maximize future listings, right? Because guess who shows up at open houses? Maybe it's a buyer who's got a house to sell. There's a pretty good chance that at least a third of the people walking through your open house are what we like to call nosy neighbors, right? They want to see the house. They want to know what it's going to sell for. And then they want to compare it to what they have. Your opportunity to capture, what did I say? 4% of all sellers, 1 out of every 25 sellers met their real estate agent at open house. So I'll bet you there's 76 people that walked through that open house, there were 3 legitimate sellers in the mix. So don't miss out on that opportunity. All right, home stretch here, guys. Maximize your leverage. This is big right now because we're getting into quote unquote busy season. Even if you didn't sell anything in the first quarter, you're probably you feel like you've got more going on than you've ever had going on in your entire life. Good. That's what we're here for. Last week, Kate and Kelly talked to you about the Leverage Center and what that looked like, whether it is getting your marketing, getting that listing presentation put together, getting that buyer presentation put together to legitimize and solidify your interface with your new client, or if it's just, hey, there's a funny thing about project management is that the first 95% of project typically takes about 70% of the time. And we as humans have a hard time finishing. So the last 5% of the project always takes so long. Yeah, that's your commissions, your compliance, your transaction management, that stuff in command. If that is holding you back from going out and doing more business, or God forbid, holding you back from getting paid, please plug into the Leverage Center opportunity on our agent website, 297agent.com. You can, it's the first drop down on Market Center resources. Take advantage of this. This is low level, easy, breezy, less friction leverage for you. Then as you start to build a bigger business and you say, hey, I've got the volume of business, or I've got a big enough database, or I've got enough transactions, or I'm doing enough listings that I need help. First phase of help for a lot of people in the modern era is a virtual assistant. And founded by a Keller Williams agent, Cyberbacker is one of the largest virtual assistant companies in the world. Mike Davis is the director of operations and the franchise owner for Northern Ohio. You've probably met him at some of our events. He was a part of our hiring clinic. He was at our mega camp recap, and he was a part of our awards evening. If you have even the slightest inkling that this is something that is going to unlock the next phase of your business, please get into conversation with Mike. Reach out to me. I will make the introduction. I would love nothing more than for you to find a new normal in production based on finding leverage. And then finally, Keller Williams Realty International and Keller Williams University has one of the most powerful hiring clinics that I've ever seen. Guys, I've been a hiring manager since I was 22 years old. So I have been hiring people for almost 15 years. I have never been to a training, been exposed to a system or a process that comes close to what Career Visioning provides to any and every small business owner as an opportunity to systematize and hire bigger, faster, stronger, better employees. So please, in May, in Perrysburg on the 23rd and 24th of May, there will be a Career Visioning session led by Keller Williams University master faculty instructors, and is something that is a can't miss opportunity if you are ready to take the next step in leverage and make more hires. Whew. All right, that was a lot. And I want you to take a step back and realize that was a lot because we offer a lot. Whatever you need more of in your business team, whatever it is that you are looking to unlock next, is it more listings? Is it more leads? Is it the next step in leverage? Please reach out, let us know, sit down, have a conversation with myself or anybody on the leadership team about what's next for you and how we can help you break through that ceiling of achievement or take the next step in growth. We're here for you and really, really excited about what we're going to do over the course of the next 6 months and throughout this entire year. Lots of opportunity out there, and we want our people to take advantage of it. So however we can help, let us know. Questions, comments, concerns, smart remarks, physical threats? Anybody got any of those for me? All right, terrific, team. Well, if you want to follow up on anything specifically, if you want to review where you have opportunity in your business, or you just want plugged in to a lead source, a listing opportunity, or a piece of leverage, please reach out to me or any other member of the leadership team and we'll get you taken care of.